Your home had food. It had a roof, maybe even a family that looked fine from the outside. But there was something missing. You could never quite name it, a kind of silence that had nothing to do with sound. This video is for you. If you grew up feeling alone, even when your parent was right there, in the next room, you learned early that certain feelings had nowhere to go. You came home excited and were met with distraction. You cried and were told to stop. You needed reassurance and got silence. Over time, you stopped bringing your feelings home. You stored them somewhere, deep inside, and you told yourself, it's fine. We were a normal family. But here's the thing about emotional neglect. It doesn't leave bruises. It doesn't make for obvious stories. It hides inside the ordinary. It looks like a parent who was always on their phone, or one who was physically present, but emotionally somewhere else entirely.
And because nothing visibly bad happened, you never gave yourself permission to grieve it. You are not broken. You are not too sensitive. You are not making this up. What you experienced has a name. Psychologists call it childhood emotional neglect. It was studied by clinical psychologist Dr. Jonas Webb, and her research revealed something profound. It isn't always what happens to a child that shapes them most. Sometimes, it's what doesn't happen. No one hit you, but no one truly saw you either. And the brain cannot tell the difference between being ignored and being unsafe. Here is what was happening inside you. Scientifically, when you were small, your nervous system was designed to co-regulate. You needed your parents' calm to create your own calm. Think of it like this. Imagine a tuning fork. When one vibrates, a matching one nearby begins to hum. That is how infant brains work. They sync with their caregiver's emotional state.
But when the caregiver is emotionally absent, checked out, unavailable, simply not there, the child's tuning fork vibrates alone. And over time, the child learns, my feelings don't get responses. My emotions are inconvenient. The safest thing I can do is stop feeling them so loudly. The brain's threat detection center, the amygdala, does not distinguish between physical danger and emotional abandonment. Both feel like survival. So as a child, you adapted. You became self-sufficient before you were ready. You compressed your inner world. You were called mature, independent, easy. But those were not compliments. They were descriptions of a child who had learned to disappear their own needs. Fast forward to now. You are in your 20s, and you notice certain patterns, but you cannot explain where they come from. You struggle to name what you feel. Psychologists call this alexithymia. It literally means no words for feelings. You know something is wrong, but when someone asks how you feel, you say, I don't know, fine, tired maybe. You find it hard to ask for help because asking felt useless back then. Now, even when help is available, something inside you says, handle it yourself. You feel inexplicably empty, not sad, not anxious, just hollow, like there is a room inside you that no one ever furnished. You feel like a burden when you have needs, so you swallow it. Again, healing from emotional neglect is not linear, but there are 3 principles that actually matter. The first, name it to tame it. When you name an emotion, even silently, your amygdala calms down, not by solving it, just by acknowledging it. Once a day, ask yourself, what am I actually feeling right now? Even if the answer is, I have no idea, that is still an honest answer. The second principle, practice receiving, not giving, receiving. The next time someone offers you care, just say thank you and let it land. Sit with the discomfort of being seen. That discomfort is not danger, it is unfamiliarity, and unfamiliarity fades with practice. The third principle, reparent the younger part of you. Say what you needed to hear as a child. I see you. Your feelings make sense. I am here. The wound was invisible, but the healing does not have to be. you are still here, still reaching, and that is the quietest kind of courage there is.